Hi traders, welcome to this FXDD video on Bitcoin BTC versus the US dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency, and before we dive into the price chart, be aware of this risk disclaimer explaining the fact that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that, and this video is for informational and educational purposes only. Alright, this is the daily chart of the BTC USD instrument, and yesterday was a massive candle, $1,000 almost from high to low. 4,100 was the low, and it went over 5,000. So yes, close to $1,000 there, and that's basically 25% in just one day. And that's of course the volatility that we used to see, big movements on BTC. Until the last few months. The last few months, price has gone sideways, very slow, very choppy and corrective. Yesterday's candle is changing that dynamic again, finally. If we look at the bigger picture, however, of course, price has been in a downtrend. So this upside is still counter trend in my view. Got to be careful of that. And there's still a heavy layer of resistance close by. But for long-term holders of Bitcoin, it is, of course, good news to see price finally back up at around 5,000. Whether that uptrend will continue, I think really depends on whether price will close with a good weekly candle close above the 21 EMA high and the 144 EMA high. If we get a good candle like this at the end of this week, that could confirm that the bulls are in control. Now the candle is open, and we don't know how this candle will react. Will there be a big exhaustion wick like this, and will the candle close all the way here back down? That would indicate a massive wick and a massive sell-off, indicating that the bulls had no trust in this upside. In that case, there was probably an ABC going on. Price ran into the resistance and is moving down from there. It is something that I discussed in my previous Bitcoin video, is that there's a good chance of an ABC and a move back to the 21 EMA. If we had this fib on at that time, from here to here, and said that price could shoot up to the 38.2 fib. It certainly did. It went actually a little bit beyond that, right? So that's maybe a first warning signal that it is not an ABC zigzag. But that's what we said here, that could move up to the 38 and then bounce at that spot. Or it could break below the 21 EMA. Now, it never broke below the 21 EMA, so it never got that confirmation. That never happened. It did move up, as we expected, to the 38. But now is the question, will price respond? Will it bounce at this fib? That, in my view, depends a little bit on these daily candles. If we see today a bearish candle, it could be already a warning that there could be a bounce. Maybe best, however, due to the large one push up. It could be a spike, and that's it. You know, spike up, false spike up, and then move down. But because of the rather larger candle, I think it's maybe better to be more careful and not use this daily candle, the daily chart, but the weekly chart. As I just discussed, waiting for some wick at the end of this week could indicate that price is actually bouncing and that this was an ABC, that this is indeed a wave 1, 2, this is a 3, this is 4, and down it goes for 5, for one more lower low, maybe at 3,000 or 2,500, and then finally the uptrend could start. But if this week's candle closes near the high with bulls fully in control, or if it's not very close to the high, but even if it's more than half the candle, if the close is above the midpoint of the candle from high to low, that in itself already would not indicate that the bulls are fully in control, but would be enough for me to be cautious with trading, or maybe even skip trading to the downside entirely. All right. I would really, for me to be interested in that last push down, because it's only a fifth wave and it's maybe a little bit more risky to trade to the downside. It would have to be a very good wick, almost entire wick here, closing almost right back at the open. Maybe I would need it right at the open or below the open. So that would indicate a lot of a reversal. Otherwise, if it's a bullish candle, I would skip downside. If it's a candle above the half, that looks pretty okay for upside. But more importantly, if it closes within the 25% range of the high, right at the high, that would indicate that the bulls are in control this week. So this week's candle, very important. That said, of course, there are still 3 days left until that moment. And I think that from this perspective, Of course, you can keep an eye on every daily candle. If today's daily candle is bullish, that would indicate that there's a momentum continuation going on, and I think then there could be a continuation higher. If today's daily candle is a doji or bearish, that would be caution. All right. So today, I'm not sure. As I said, I think there's a lot of indecision at this moment because of the fact that there is a big upside, but also big resistance zone. If today maybe there's some kind of bull flag. I was correct the first time around. Bull flag, and the break of that bull flag, that could be okay for continuation higher. So far, I don't see it yet. I see some correction, but it hasn't hit the 21 EMA yet. So what I'm waiting for is price to move down like this, hit maybe this bottom here, and then break above the 21 EMA. That could be interesting even today because it could have enough steam, enough momentum to make a consolidation like that and break for one more higher high. But most importantly is today's daily candle, is it bullish? And this week's weekly candle, of course, as discussed. If today's daily candle is bullish and tomorrow there's a bull flag pattern or a triangle pattern, then it could be good to look for continuation of that, a break of that pattern and continuation higher. In that case, the 5,000 resistance is not holding and it looks like more upside is coming. All right, more free webinars with FXDD you can find through these links. Join now, of course, with the live trading webinars or live education webinars. We hope to see you then. In any case, wish you all good trading and cheers.